As we know, after Season 3 ended, the Seven are currently facing a severe personnel crisis. Queen Maeve is presumed dead, Starlight has spoken out against Vought and officially left the group. Supersonic was brutally murdered by Homelander, and Black Noir met a similar fate. This means that the superhero team is now down to its three main pillars: Homelander, the Deep, and a Train. On the other side, despite having only 12 to 18 months left to live, Butcher has not revealed this to the members of the Boys. With Newman now elected as the next vice president, the top priority is to eliminate her as soon as possible. Additionally, Newman has injected her daughter with Compound V, giving the girl powers. Even with Starlight added to the team, many dangers still lie ahead, especially with the unsettling smile of Ryan at the end of Season 3. On June 13th, the first 3 episodes of Season 4 were released. What's interesting about them, and how will the journey of the Boys continue? Let's find out together. First and foremost, we cannot overlook Homelander, the Superman and main antagonist of the series. Despite his overwhelming power, it seems that in this season, Homelander is not immune to the approach of old age. In one scene, we see Homelander picking up a white hair, indicating that, unlike his father Soldier Boy, who did not age, Homelander is showing signs of aging. To reinforce the idea that time is taking its toll on him, the stylists responsible for his image mention that the cost of removing his wrinkles in the film featuring Homelander exceeded the budget by $9 million. Sister Sage, the new superhero joining the Seven, has claimed that Homelander is going through a midlife crisis. According to Soldier Boy in episode 7 of Season 3, Soldier Boy gave his sperm to Vought in 1980, and Homelander was born in 1981. This means that if the timeline of The Boys Season 4 is set in 2024, Homelander is now 43 years old. If what Sister Sage says is true, Homelander is indeed experiencing a significant midlife crisis. According to the World Health Organization, midlife crisis symptoms include boredom, lack of confidence, dissatisfaction, nostalgia, and impulsive actions. To analyze this further, we will delve into some of Homelander's actions in the series. Firstly, he does not genuinely feel satisfied with what he possesses. It's understandable, as he is always surrounded by sycophants who never dare to tell him the truth. This drives Homelander insane and is the main reason he recruits Sister Sage, the world's smartest person, to the team. At the end of episode 3 of Season 4, we once again witness the different personas within Homelander's psychotic mind. In the previous season, he only conversed with one persona, but now 3 different personas have appeared. However, all 3 personas agree that he needs to return home, or more precisely, to the lab where he was created and raised if he wants to completely eliminate his current inner demons. Despite his poor and relatively few happy memories, Homelander still has a museum to preserve his memories. Aside from a box filled with white hairs marking the effects of aging, we also see a photo of Stormfront with her ex-husband, a milk bottle belonging to Madeline Stillwell, and Black Noir's sword. It can be seen that although he is not truly loved by many, Homelander still keeps mementos of important people who have passed through his life, or at least gave him a sense of safety and happiness for a short time. On the other side, an equally important figure to Homelander is Billy Butcher. However, his health is deteriorating seriously. Besides frequent fatigue and vomiting, Butcher also experiences hallucinations and talks to himself. It is only at the end of episode 1 that we learn his hallucinations take the form of Becca, his late wife. According to Homelander, Butcher has a large tumor in his brain, which is likely the main cause of his unwanted visions. After the events of Season 3, the members of the Boys have lost faith in the leadership of their rough, abrasive captain who prefers using fists over emotional conversations. Under the direction of Grace Mallory, Mother's Milk has taken over command from Butcher, and in episode 2, upon revealing that he doesn't have long to live, the group unanimously agrees to remove Butcher from the team. However, it seems MM's leadership is not highly regarded by everyone, leading to disarray and fractures among the members. Whether this will improve or force Mallory to reinstate Butcher as the leader, we will have to wait for the next episode to find out. Another person we cannot overlook is Victoria Newman, who appears as the next term's vice president. In Gen V, a work directly related to the boys' universe, Newman has the power to control anyone's blood through her eyes. However, in Season 4, we see that she possesses power and endurance far beyond what we could have imagined. According to CIA reports, concentrated acid can counteract her abilities. Therefore, in the first episode, Frenchie and Kimiko sneak into her room and replace her eye drops with acid to destroy her eyes and limit Newman's powers. But it seems the intelligence was wrong because when Huey threw an entire bottle of acid on Newman, it didn't harm her. Even when Butcher shot her point blank in the head, the bullet ricocheted back. This means Newman has powers far beyond the boys' understanding, and the plan to eliminate her has to be temporarily shelved. However, Robert Singer, the Secretary of Defense and a presidential candidate, believes that the top priority is to eliminate Newman. His direct competitor, supported by superhuman advocates, currently holds a significant lead in the polls. If they win the next term, Newman will have a clear path to take over the country's leadership. As a result, Robert outwardly supports her, but continuously urges the CIA and the boys to urgently plan to take Newman down to prevent the worst-case scenario. However, the failure in Episode 1 has made Newman aware of his plans, so he does not hesitate to reveal his intent to remove superheroes from the defense and security system, stating that superheroes should only be entertainment for the public. Another character viewers eagerly await is Black Noir. It is known that the ninja died in Season 3 after being killed by Homelander, so when he appeared in the trailer, many rumors suggested he was still alive. Some viewers believe that this is just a stand-in for Black Noir, specifically Sam Reardon, a character who appeared in the Gen V series. But it seems all those predictions were wrong because the Black Noir stand-in is a completely different person. He talks a lot, always appears confused by Homelander's orders, and even when trying to talk to a train, he mentioned that he has never killed anyone before and wondered if Homelander often forces others to kill people. This means that the real Black Noir is indeed dead, and the stand-in also attended Godolphin Academy like Sam Reardon. However, his true identity remains a mystery. Always regarded as a superhero with a clean record and a spiritual leader for Starlight House, the revelations from Firecracker, the new member of the Seven, show us a completely different side of Starlight. It turns out she was also petty and jealous. According to Sister Sage, Firecracker is a formidable counter to Starlight in the leadership of Starlight House. It's highly likely that in the future, the truth about Starlight will be exposed, and she will have to face an unprecedented wave of backlash, not only from Homelander's supporters, but also from neutral citizens. As expected, the Lord of the Seven Seas, the Deep, always carries the comedic relief to balance the gruesome and perverse nature of the boys' series. After a tearful breakup with his beloved wife, the merman was immediately exposed in her autobiography, revealing his complicated relationship with an octopus named Ambrosius. Voiced by actress Tilda Swinton, the octopus can no longer freely meet the deep as before, but lives in a small fish tank hidden in the closet. Naturally, the Deep is still heartbroken over this, and to retaliate against his ex-wife, he even went on television to claim she had a mental illness and once defecated on his bed. Sounds familiar, right? Pushed to the limit, the Deep finally lashed out at Ashley after being encouraged by Sister Sage, but it didn't stop there. Their relationship took an unexpected turn. Perhaps a romantic relationship with the world's smartest person will bring many benefits to the series' comedic character. Season 4 of The Boys introduces Joe Kessler, a CIA agent and former teammate of Butcher. According to many comic fans, this character might be based on Howard Kessler, the longtime liaison for the boys with the CIA. While it's not yet clear how Joe Kessler will impact Season 4, like Butcher, he despises superheroes and wants to eliminate them all. To achieve this, Joe and Butcher initially plan to sedate Ryan and then persuade the boy to turn against his father. As usual, Butcher ends up breaking the plan at the last minute, which leaves Joe very displeased. One fan theory suggests that Joe will initially ally with Butcher, potentially even finding a cure for the former leader of the boys. However, due to their conflicting views, they might gradually shift from friends to enemies. If this happens, Season 4 will witness a confrontation among 3 different factions, signaling an even more intense battle. Contrary to most viewers' predictions at the end of Season 3 that Ryan would become a replica of Homelander, Season 4 shows the boy undergoing a significant psychological shift as he realizes Homelander and Vought's distorted views on humanity. Ryan is uncomfortable with superheroes abusing their power and killing innocent people. Despite loving his father, the rift in his relationship with Homelander is becoming increasingly evident. His conversation with Butcher in the 3rd episode reveals Ryan's complex inner world. Based on my speculation, under Homelander's pressure, Ryan will quickly find a way to escape to Butcher and Mallory. However, Joe will keep tempting him to become the leader of the movement against Homelander, and Butcher will struggle to keep him away from the impending all-out war. One might have thought that Frenchie and Kimiko's relationship would progress further in Season 4, but Frenchie takes a sharp turn by rekindling his complicated relationship with a guy named Colin, who works at Starlight House. In Episode 3, viewers learn that Frenchie killed Colin's entire family when he was an assassin under Little Nina. This dark past prevents him from pursuing a relationship with Colin, who was unaware of this horrific secret. As for Kimiko, even though she knows her relationship with Frenchie won't go anywhere, his new relationship still affects her emotionally. It seems that borrowing, parodying, and adding a touch of satire to superhero movies has become a hallmark of The Boys in a scene where Butcher meets Homelander again. Homelander discovers that Butcher doesn't have much time left to live and mentions The Last Dance, which is the official name of Venom 3 that just released its trailer recently. Furthermore, when Kimiko is attacked by Newman's daughter and her arm is torn off, she quickly regrows a tiny baby-like arm. Sound familiar? It's identical to a scene from Deadpool released in 2016. If you pay close attention, you'll also notice that Starlight's flying and landing style is reminiscent of Iron Man from the MCU. Additionally, Robert Singer's superhero management legislation strongly reminds one of the Superhero Registration Act from the MCU. Racism is always a controversial topic in the United States, and somehow, just like the B-list Superman Blue Hawk once said, in the eyes of filmmakers, crimes often occur in black neighborhoods. No wonder the latest movie featuring a train, about an athlete who falls into crime and gradually finds his way back to the light under the guidance of a white coach, infuriates the train. To top it off, the director confidently claims an Oscar nomination for the terrible portrayal of the coach. This is a sharp satire directed at Hollywood, the so-called capital of the film world. Contrary to the 7 stories about rescuing countless people, in reality, these are just recorded and edited scenes made to look like civilian rescue missions. A train's brother confirms that there was never any danger and that a train has never actually saved anyone. Vought even organizes rehearsals to ensure their superstars appear on camera in the most spectacular and glamorous way possible. Naturally, accidents can happen when performing with superheroes. For instance, Coy, the stunt coordinator and stunt double for rescue scenes, was accidentally pushed too hard by Ryan, resulting in his body being crushed. But that's just a minor issue, because the real goal is to make people believe they are being protected in a turbulent society. It highlights the dark side of media and how what we see on social media may not be the truth. No one could have predicted this move by Vought. The biggest surprise in Season 4 is the appearance of Daphne Campbell, Huey's biological mother, who left when he was just 6 years old. In Episode 3, she reveals that she suffered from postpartum depression and one day, unable to bear the housewife life any longer, she disappeared, abandoning her husband and son. However, according to the story, Huey's father and Daphne have been back in touch for the past 1 or 2 years, making her delayed appearance quite puzzling. Especially since this occurs after Homelander recruits the world's smartest person to the team. What if this is just a plan to deceive Huey to extract information or for some other scheme? After all, if someone as smart and cautious as M.M. can be successfully trapped by Sister Sage, there's no reason to believe that Daphne's return is purely for the sake of her husband and son. Robert Singer's comment reminds us of the shocking event in the United States on January 6, 2021, when the Capitol fell to a riot. Joe Biden became the 46th president of the United States, but the election process was far from smooth and peaceful. At 2 p.m. on January 6th, protesters stormed the Capitol building, breaking doors and occupying the chamber where the presidential vote count was taking place. As a result of this action, at least one person died and many were arrested. To reference this darkest day in American electoral history, the filmmakers included an Easter egg at the end of season 3 featuring a man in the protest dressed exactly like Jacob Chansley, one of the leaders of the January 6th event, who was later sentenced to prison. In the opening scene of episode 1, when Kimiko pushes a food cart past the van carrying the boys, we see the words Mr. Marathon Catering. This is an interesting Easter egg because, according to the comic, Mr. Marathon was the first speedster superhero of the 7 before being replaced by a train. Also in episode 1, Newman mentions War Games, a 1983 film, when trying to explain that everything is pointless if Huey and she continue to seek each other's destruction. For those who don't know, War Games is a film about nuclear weapons, depicting how nations attacking each other would only result in heavy losses. The show contains numerous nods to superheroes who appeared in the comics through the board behind Ashley in this scene, featuring names like Talon, Hyperion, Dognaught, and Wrangler. Additionally, The Boys universe doesn't forget to remind us of its close connection with Gen V by featuring Polarity, Andre's father, in an old movie poster. Moreover, we encounter a horrifying scene with the character Splinter, a superhero capable of splitting into multiple identical clones. I won't delve too deeply into this detail, but if I had to describe it, it strongly resembles the movie The Human Centipede. Lastly, the game Ryan is playing is equally intriguing as it's a nod to Mortal Kombat, the fighting game known for its brutal finishing moves. Recently, at the beginning of June, Homelander became a playable character in the latest Mortal Kombat installment. With the growing rift between Homelander and Ryan, Butcher being expelled from the boys, what craziness and perversion await us in the upcoming events? How many more shocking twists are ahead, and will Homelander's journey back home reveal anything interesting and exciting? Share your theories in the comments below, and we'll discuss them further. For now, goodbye and see you next time.